As we as small businesses are going through our own troubles, the businesses that also support us are also feeling the pain. I'm joined on the line now by Katlego Maphai. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Yoco. That is the card payments and online payments platform that is the leading service provider, certainly, for all the small businesses out there. I'm told there are over 80,000 outlets out there that use Yoco. And they've also been hard at work in making sure they track what's happening to small businesses. And he's going to share with me some insights in their own business, but also what are they finding out about small businesses and how we are trying to buck the trend. Mr. Maphai, are you well, sir?
Hello, Andile. Nice to be here. How's everything going?
Well, I think you know the answer to that. The answer to that is that it's hard, man. It is so tough. But we've got no choice. We got to find a way through it. How's it going for you?
Same story. Something I keep saying to people is COVID is giving us silver linings on tap. Every day is a silver lining. We're learning, we're adapting, we're becoming stronger. And, that's one thing you have to appreciate about it is that it's just making everything in life extremely real. And that's quite special.
I was looking at a graph on your website. It showed the graph of transactions before the lockdown on the 26th of March. And I just saw a 90% drop in transactions. Before we talk about small businesses in general, what has that done? What has that meant for you and your team? I mean, how then do you kind of try and make sense of it all as a card payments, as an online payments platform?
So I think what's helped us is we're a very data-driven company. It's our golden thread. It's always been part of our DNA. And we've used data throughout the life cycle of this business, and we're using data right now as a company to determine how we respond. So we modeled a very similar trajectory, right? We knew that transactions were going to fall off a cliff. We knew at some point that we're going to level off, and then we would start to see some sort of a recovery. And that's more or less followed the trajectory that we expected. But the key thing is the type of business that you are at those different moments is very important. You can't, having the right response at the wrong time is meaningless, right? You need to have the right response at the right time. So, before that cliff, it was all about stabilizing, getting the team ready for remote working, getting used to this new way of working. We're a very close company. And then it was kind of bracing for this fall and helping our customers through that. There's just so much going on, and, we created all these communication channels. We're starting to share content. We had our call center open and fielding a lot of questions. And then once things started to stabilize, it became great. Now, how can we start responding from a product perspective to help our customers come into the future of shopping? So it's been lots of ups and downs, but we've learned a lot as a team, and we've actually never felt closer.
You guys also then did some work for us, and thank God you did, because you gave us real access as small businesses and as part of the ecosystem about what was happening. I mean, all the way to the point of what businesses, as regulations became relaxed, which businesses were coming on stream. I even saw stats around provinces, kind of like who was doing more, who was doing less. What are some of the insights that you've picked up on our behalf as your customers that we as small businesses need to really start thinking about as we try and get into this new normal? Because you seeing the data and us seeing the data is slightly different. You've got years of processing this data, and for you it's often maybe a more valuable. Can you share some of those values? Can you share some of those insights with us?
The most important insight to gain from the information that we've shared in the Small Business Recovery Monitor as a small business owner is you can go to your province, you can go to your industry segment, and you can see what trade is looking like. And essentially, if your trade is not matching up with what's going on in the province, then you're now in a position to go, right, what am I not doing? Who do I need to reach out to? What could I be doing better? What am I missing? So the nice thing about the data is that it effectively allows you to ask the right questions and to seek out the next right steps, because we've used data as a company now to inform how we respond. And we effectively want our customers to have the same tool, right? To see, great, things are here, I'm here, what's going on? And that's really the main thing. And we're seeing, different trading profiles by province. So things are not uniform. what's been very fascinating for us is seeing that the COVID cases by province and the economic impact seems to be heading in the opposite direction, right? So the lower the cases, the more economic activity we're seeing, especially in some of the inland provinces, which has been really fascinating. And yeah, I mean, from our side, we're seeing the retail space pick up quite nicely. Within that, there's obviously groceries and a lot of essential services. So relative to the other segments of restaurants, bars, and cafes, and health, beauty, and fitness, retail's done relatively well. And you can see now it's really started to pull away from the other segments.
And I guess that talks to the relaxation as and when, these different levels come through. I guess that's also going to feed back into the stats. Talking about the Small Business Recovery Monitor, talking about the fact that you are a card and online platform for small businesses, a big conversation that's been happening around small businesses is, oh man, I should have digitized a long time ago. I should have had an online presence where I'm able to transact using e-commerce. And now I'm learning that had I had it maybe the past 2 months and perhaps the next 10, 20 months, I will be a little bit better. Is it that obvious to you? Is a big insight here about us as small businesses really starting to think about digital presence, or is that maybe overplayed?
So the way you want to think about these things, and certainly how we think about it, is there's an exchange, right? There's a consumer and there's a business owner. There's an exchange of value, and something needs to be paid, and that's never going to change, right? The economy is just the sum of these transactions happening. Now the question is, how does that exchange happen? Is it in person with a card, with a QR code? Is it happening online? Is it a debit order? Is it an EFT? It doesn't matter. What we're trying to do now as an organization is we're building what we're deeming a modern commons platform for the future of shopping. So that's our strategy now. And our goal is we become a one-stop shop for these micro merchants who need to accept some form of payment across different channels. So that's really what we want to do. We think shopping is going to live across multiple channels, and we want to be able to support all of that. And it all comes into one place, and we simplify things for small businesses. I mean, we did this with card payments in person. And we took a complicated application process, lots of red tape, lots of rules. We simplified it to 5 minutes. We ship it to you anywhere in the country. Right now, you can sign up for Yoco online in less than 30 minutes. You can start accepting online payments as a business owner. And the product in itself is simple, right? You have a payment link that you can send through WhatsApp, or you can, host it on a web page. And now anyone can pay you with the card remote, which is amazing. We've also launched the vouchering. So for businesses that are not able to trade but want to take future payments, they can do that too. And this is all running through our supportsmall.co.za initiative. And then there's something we're calling the payment request, where from the app, you can type in an amount that you want to request from somebody. It sends them a link. They pay through credit card, and the amount is settled into your Yoco account. In many respects, what we've done is we've simplified this idea of a payment gateway, which typically needed some sort of a software engineer to integrate it into your e-commerce website.
Yeah, it sounds complicated, doesn't it?
Right. Exactly. We've simplified that. Our view is our business owners have access to social media, so they have a way to present whatever they're selling or a way to engage their audiences. There's now access to third-party logistics, and now it's really our job to support on the payments to make it as simple as possible. So there's going to be all these pieces. And it's nice because effectively somebody now has a toolbox in order to conduct commerce without it being complicated. And we think that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's wrap it there for now, Katlego. Let's not take too much time. We all have businesses to run, and you've got a very big business to make sure that it continues to thrive. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you those details again. It's a Small Business Recovery Monitor. You can find it on the Yoco website. And essentially, you are able to track your own business relative to your peers and relative to your geography and where you are. It's very, very useful insight. But for all of the other services that Katlego was talking about, supportsmall.co.za is their initiatives. It's not rocket science. Yoco Online takes 30 minutes to register. You have a link and people can pay you remotely. So if you're running your business through Instagram or any other social media platform, all you do is say, hey guys, I'm selling X. Oh, here's the link of how you can pay me. That's it. No need for card machines and drivers to be touching things and pressing buttons. All of it can happen remotely and people are able to pay you by card. So it makes absolute sense. So let me say goodbye to my guests for that. Well done, my brother. Keep going. I know how hard you and your team are working. And we appreciate all the help that you give us as small businesses.
Thank you, Ndata. Take care and have a great day.
All right, my man. Take care, bro.
Bye-bye.